I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm just making sure I'm going live because you know how that is. So, let's see. All right, there I am. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you can still see me. Okay. So today is June 30th, the last day of the month, and I just wanted to go live and talk to you about where we are, where we're going. So our goal was 300 shelters to be sponsored by the end of the month. We're not there. Honestly, we are so far away from 300 that it would be amazing if we hit it. However, I'm not discouraged. So Rick Tompkins, a really good friend of mine, a monthly sponsor, Platinum Badass, part of my elephant herd, he decided to go live and he was like, hey, I really want to push this and help you. And so those that sponsor a book that are through him, he will then match it and sponsor another book. So by one person sponsoring, he will sponsor a book, but it has to be his friends. And so that could really get us to a good number. And then I've got all my monthly sponsors that have sponsored. I've got Christina Dowling, I have Christina Dowling, Breland, Tammy, Charles, Rick, and then I'm still waiting for one of them to see if they can sponsor this month or not. But we are definitely making headway. We are getting there. We are sitting currently, so the last time I jumped on, we were at 203. That's 202 in the United States, and then one in Canada, which is on its way. It's going to take 1 to 3 weeks. And then Rick, with his promotion that he is doing, he actually was able to get 2 people to sponsor. So now we are sitting at 205. So 205, one's going to be going to California. The other one is going to go to, I forgot, Michigan, I believe. And so that's at 205. So the book is called From Beating a Badass, and it's $25 to sponsor, and you can send it to any state you want. I can find the shelter for you, or if you know of a shelter in that state, then you can let me know. Excuse me, and I can then ship it to them. So $25 to sponsor. The book then gets a sticker here in the inside cover that says "Giving Back." And then from there, your name goes on the blank page, and then I sign it. The letter explaining our mission goes in there, a postcard of Beating a Badass and what's going on with a little short synopsis goes in there, and then I ship it off. It takes anywhere from 3 to 7 days for the book to arrive, and it's really quite simple. It's that easy. $25. You can go on to beatingabadass.com, hit Make a Difference, Sponsor Now button. It'll take you to a page. You just hit Sponsor Now. It'll let you sponsor 1 book. If you want to get more books, you want to sponsor more than 1 book, then you contact me directly, comment below, like this post and share it, and let me know, or direct message me, and I can send you an invoice for however many books you would like to sponsor. So right now we are sitting at, once I get these 2 books shipped out today, we'll be at 205. Our goal was 300 for the month of June. We are 95 books away. 95 books away from hitting our goal in June. I would love it if we could actually hit 225. I would be ecstatic if we hit 225. So that's 20 more books. If you want to sponsor 2 books, 10 books, all 20, that would be great. But I would love to hit 225 for the month of June. I have to really stress how important this mission is. I cannot say it enough. You are the light in somebody's darkness. When someone becomes a victim of domestic violence and then they survive it, they are in their darkest moments. They feel that there's no hope, they have no strength, they don't find any courage within themselves. They just don't understand how they're going to survive being a survivor. They feel like nobody understands, that they're not enough. They feel broken. They feel completely defeated. They feel like this is all life has for me. And I have to stress, when you sponsor a book, you become their light. You become the light in the darkness. and you let them know that they are enough and that they are not defined by their circumstances. They are a badass. And that somebody believes in them. Somebody cares about them. Somebody hasn't forgotten them. And that they're not defined by this. You give them strength, hope, and courage. I can't say it enough. I've been there. I am a survivor of domestic violence and sexual assault from 12 years ago. I am. It doesn't define me. It's part of who I am. It has shaped and molded me into the person I am. But it hasn't defined me. It's my life's mission to give back to those impacted by domestic violence and sexual assault. It is my life's mission to show them, those survivors and those victims, that they are enough just the way they are. They didn't say anything wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. They never deserved it. There is so much hope out there. There is a light in their life, and they just don't know where to look. When you sponsor a book, you become the light in their darkness. You give them that hope, that strength, and that courage to keep going, to keep fighting for them. Most of the time, it's the first time they feel that they can fight for themselves. You've given them permission. They never needed that permission, but you've given them that permission to say, hey, it's time to fight for you. We're fighting for you. We want you to fight for you. You're a badass. That's what you give when you sponsor a book to go to a shelter. You're making a ripple effect impact. And the reason why I say it's a ripple effect is because it truly is. The book gets sponsored. I send it to the shelter. Somebody opens the mail and they're like, there's a book. There's a book. What is this book? They usually flip it over to the back after they read the title, From Beaten to Badass. Now that is a title that grabs attention. They read the back. Raped, beaten, nearly killed, bullied, abandoned, abused, and broken. She shouldn't have survived, but she did. She became a strong, independent woman who possesses qualities that are a perfect match for what life throws her way. Erin gained insight and resilience while traveling through peaks and valleys with the help of mentors, friends, parents, and coaches who all made a difference in her life. And then they keep reading. That person's like, wow, look at this book that we just got. It was gifted by somebody. I have to read this. She's a survivor. So they read it. That one person reads it. They pass it on to another staff member. That person reads it. This is a resource for those advocates and counselors and those that help those impacted by domestic violence and sexual assault. This becomes a resource, a priceless guide for them to see it from a survivor's point of view. It allows them to help in a better way. From there, as soon as the staff read it, they start to talk about it. They talk about it with their clients. They say, you know, have you tried this or that or whatever? But after the staff read this book, it goes onto the bookshelf at the shelter. And then when a victim, a survivor, I like to call us survivors, picks that book off the shelf and they see it, they see From Beaten to Badass, they're like, whoa, me too. How do I become a badass? They read the back, they see my picture, and they're like, she gets it. They maybe flip through the pages, and something may catch their eye. Anything. If we go to the abuse chapter, the tipping point, the abuse, chapter 3. Today the sky sheds its tears, for it knows, as much as the wind blows, what you've been through. For the pain you've been through is so immense that you cannot explain. While the day breaks, you try to forget, and your reasons are true for what you have told. The afternoon comes as you try to smile, and then leaves after a little while. The day will go, but you remember, even though it is no longer. Memories are made and some forgotten. People share and others just don't care. The day ends and nightfall begins, for we eat and then we go to bed. where we lay our heads and begin to sleep, for many count all the sheep. We dream of fairies and other things too, but most of all you dream of you. So sleep tight and remember the days when everything was fine and seemed okay, because those are important, especially for you, because remember those are the ones you made it through. They can relate to those words. They understand the pain that they're stuck in, that they're in, that they're just drowning. They feel like nobody gets it. I get it. I've been there. It's a poem I wrote. It gives them the strength, hope, and courage that they need to keep fighting for themselves. The first time that they're fighting for themselves. I can't stress it enough. By sponsoring a book for $25, you give them the strength, hope, and courage that they need. You are their light in their darkness. We may not be able to change the world, but we can change the world for one person. That's important. That's important work. I invite you to be a part of it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for jumping on, sharing, commenting, liking, loving, caring. I really appreciate all your love, support, and encouragement for what I do. Getting a copy of my book from Beaten a Badass in every single shelter across the country. We're sitting at 205. Our goal was 300 this month, and I would love to hit it. If we could hit 225, if we could get 20 more shelters sponsored, I would be humbled. I would be humbled and blessed. If you know somebody that's going through domestic violence and sexual assault, have them reach out to me. I would love to help them and guide them and give them the resources that they need. Let them know that they're enough just the way they are. Because they are. You can buy a book for them. It doesn't have to go to a shelter. You can buy a book as a gift to somebody. You can buy the book for yourself. I actually really recommend that you buy the book for yourself and you sponsor a shelter. Because then you can read the story and see how you can even relate to it. It's not just about abuse. It's about my life from a child, being abandoned and bullied as a child, and then it goes into my love for golf and what golf taught me and tools that golf gave me. And from there I find myself in this tipping point of abuse. In my darkest moments. How am I ever going to survive this? I had people along the way that helped me. And from there, I go into bodybuilding. So I can take back my control and I can look good on the outside, thinking that that's all I needed. But really, I fixed up here, and most importantly, I fixed right here. My heart and my mind. Which also helped mend my soul to know that I'm enough. I talk about bodybuilding and how I found my way through mindfulness. And then I talk about unconditional love and finding my husband and our infertility journey. I talk about where I am today and how I became my own hero. And then I conclude it in the 7th chapter of how you can become your own hero too. There's a couple of poems, a little bit of words of wisdom. It's a really simple read. It's a quick read. It's a relatable read. So many people can relate to my story, and I don't think we realize the intertwining that there is within each other's lives. We have so much we can relate on. There's so many intricacies in our lives, and there's so many things that we have in common, a lot more so in common than differences. And that is powerful. And that helps give each other strength and hope and courage. I invite you to become part of the Elephant Herd. I invite you to purchase a book for yourself and a friend, or a book for yourself in a shelter. And to really see we're not so different. My mission is to help give back to those impacted by domestic violence and sexual assault. But we're all connected. We can all impact each other. And I vote for the good. So, keep being a badass. Thank you again. God bless. I appreciate all of you, all the love, the support, the encouragement, and I'll keep you posted. Have a great day.